Hello everybody and welcome to the BSRTC Pro Series live on Apex Racing TV. We come to you from Silverstone, the home of British motorsport, today on the GP layout. 3 amazing races and it's going to be an amazing night of action-packed Kia battling all over the place. My name is Marco Barbanera, of course with me Samuli Kumu. Hello Samuli.
Hello everyone. Yeah, I'll be joining in on commentary booth for the first race, but I think for the second race onwards we will have some Fitzpatrick here to help us out, and then I won't have to do so much multitasking. And also, I apologize if we have some issues with the YouTube stream because of that we were a bit delayed, and I hope the quality is okay, but please let us know if there's any issues and we will try to sort them out.
It's round 15 out of 28 of the regular season, so we are officially in the second part of the regular season, going to the showdown in late October and in November. So I think Samuel is a good moment to bring up the standings for this amazing championship, if you're okay.
Yeah, well, cannot solve them stream, but overall Steve Baxter is leading with 3030 points, followed by Dave Baker at 2,900. Third is Nicole Foggy at 2,864 points. Fourth is Wojciech Svidovic at 2,820 points. And fifth is Jamie Rashford at 2,708 points. In the AM category, we have Kip Stevens leading at 2,552 points, followed by Mark Woodhouse at 2,523 points. Behind him is Maciej Čekovic, Chris Wood and Paul Smith. In the team championships, CQR is leading currently at 12,843 points, followed by Northern Ireland Racing GT Omega about 1,102 points behind them. And we are pretty much done with the qualifiers, so I think we need to get going with the grid.
Absolutely, we got 45 seconds left. If drivers will or are on a flyer, they can finish their flying lap, but I don't think there's anybody on track as of this moment, so we should be able in, I think, 30 seconds or so to bring up the race 1 starting lineup on your screens. It's a cloudy day, of course. We could say typical English weather minus the rain due to iRacing, of course, but I'm confident we will have that soon enough in a couple of years, and that's going to be even more exciting. I think, Sam, nobody is setting a time, so we can show the graphics and I can go with the starting lineup.
Yeah, well, actually I just saw that Craig Williams was running, and did he improve? I don't think so. Okay, now we got the official grid. Let's see. Okay, yes. I sat on the pole, followed by Wojciech Svidovic at second, Sven Glatzel third, Jamie Rashford fourth, fifth. With the best AM driver is Jack Sedgwick, although I'm not sure if he's AM or Pro. Dave Baker sixth, Alex Simpson starting seventh. I think he should be Pro, but I don't know, he is listed as AM. Josh Thompson is 8th, 9th is Pete Harrod, 10th is Jake Blackhall, 11th Carl Jansson, 12th Brian Holmes, and 9th Pete Harrod, 10th Jack Blackhall, then followed by Carl Jansson, Brian Holmes, Alex Everett, Christian Rose, Colin Cuniff, Martin Front, Nathan Davies, Russell Laidler, Adam McNally, Michael Davies, and Nathan Davies, Russell Laidler, Adam McNally, and 20th is Michael Davies. Then it's Nicole Foggy, William Daniels, Chris Wood, Jesper Delika, Paul Smith, Barry Morrison, Adam Hatfield, Tristan Bodis, no. Where was I? Okay, Mark Johnson 29th, 30th Michael Blake, McIntyre 31st, Woodhouse, Malcolm, Williams, Sakovic, Matt Keeper, and so on, so on. I think we are just about ready to go, so I won't go through the rest of them, but How do you see this race going with these guys in this kind of very familiar track to these drivers?
Yeah, we will have 11 laps. We saw Ashley Sutton very fast. We know the first race usually is the calmer one, but don't worry, we got 2 reversers coming up, 11 laps. It should be all ready to go. Engines are rising, and the green flag is out. Drivers, of course, starting in the corner. We got so many cars on the field right now. Ash Sutton maintains the lead. Sviridovich Glatzel right behind him, coming into the first corner. Be very carefully, you can run wide, you can lose the car, there can be some contact, and of course you have to sort yourself before Magos and Beckett's coming up. As we see Sviridovich making up a position, I think, on Glatzel. No, he was starting second, so he's still second. Ashley Sutton maintains the lead. Behind him, Glatzel, Stedwick takes a position on Rushford, and Alex Simpson, David Baker, Pete Harrod. Everybody behaving in the first few corners. And I think Ashley Sutton will be a very tough customer today as they go streaming down the Hangar Straight, trying to get the slipstream, try to prepare the next corner.
Yes, just a moment here. I'm preparing the paints because I noticed that some are missing. So if you give me just a moment.
Of course, as we see Pitaro going here into the chicane. Of course, I know this track very well, having raced here in this little section of the Southern Loop a couple of days ago in the MX5 Cup. As we see a car in the fence, as Brian J. Holmes also has some front end damage, car number 3, so there must have been some contact there, as we see the cars go really wide, almost 3-4 wide, go into the chicane. Yeah, Brian Holmes is very slow, and I think his race is got to be over as the cars go streaming down the bridge section, sadly no longer used in real life, but likely still do. Back to the front, Sutton, Sviridovich, Glatzel. I was saying that Sutton posted a very fast qualifying time. Of course, qualifying is one thing, but it's really difficult to track these opponents from your back when you are all in a pack, all sitting in the draft. Sutton, of course, has the fastest lap, but Sviridovich is right there, sitting 2 tenths behind him, and Glatzel and Sedgwick as well, and then a little bit of a gap from P4 to P5 with Alex Simpson gaining 2 positions from his starting grid 1. So it looks like it's going to be a battle between these top 4 guys. Maybe Alex Simpson and Jamie Rushford can get into the party, but the race is not very long and these guys seem to be pulling away. We'll see if Sviridovich will try for a move or not. As we see Glatzel in the grass, he lost the car and he throws away some valuable spots. He was in 3rd and now he's in 5th position. Very uncharacteristic mistake by Glatzel there. And car number 113 loses 2 positions and now he's under attack from David Baker. So very strange mistake by Glatzel. Whereas on Nicole Foggy as well, GT Omega Scuderia Agis, if I'm not mistaken, car number 9. Scottish flag proudly displayed on top of his car. Trying to get the best of Christian Rose in car number 30. Not usually a passing spot. Foggy doesn't care, throws the car on the inside. Now he's going to have the outside in the final corner. Let's see who gets the best exit. I think it's going to be Rose. And it is, but now Foggy has got a slipstream going into the first corner, Cop's corner. See if he will try to make the pass or not. Start lap 3 out of 11. He keeps behind now, makes a move on the outside. Very difficult place to pass here. He's going to take some guts. Oh, what a pass by Nicole Foggy. If that is not a slowdown, but now you see I think Nathan Davis also getting into the party. Wow, what a great move there by Foggy in a very high-speed section of the track. And Jack Sedgwick, by the way, fastest lap of the race, 1:54.1, trying to close the gap, and Eric Simpson, like we said, moving into position 4, as we are on board with Christian Rosso, who will try to get the position back from Foggy. We are on board with him. Hard braking zone here for the chicane. Hopping over the curves. These cars can take it. Again, riding over the curb. Getting ready for Abbey, if I'm not mistaken. And we see a 4 wide here. We are in the back half of the field with Pete Newman, who I think made a mistake or something like that, because he was running basically with the entirety of his car in the runoff area. He's in P25, so he gained some positions. Something must have happened there. And he's trying to pull away from Tristan Bodis, who had a nice run, I think, in the second race at Road Atlanta before having a crash in the first corner, I think, of the 5th lap or so. And
thanks. I think the paint should be operating now, so hopefully that is also that, so we can continue on with the race with the correct looking cars.
Welcome back, Sam, and been a very entertaining race all over the field, as we see Sutton really under pressure from Sviridovic, and I say again, Sedgwick and Simpson are keeping a very close distance, while Glatzel is still there, but he's failed to make up ground after his mistake. See if Sviridovic tries for the move now. On the inside, he makes it stick. Better exit from Sutton. Bumper to bumper, covering the inside is car number 1. Now the 01 moves on the inside as well. He cannot make the pass. So a new leader in Sviridovic, Sutton, Sedgwick trying to take advantage of the chaos in front of him, and Simpson closer and closer to the podium. He's looking very strong today, Alex, in this first race. Look at the beautiful snake of cars moving through this GP layout. Always a very challenging layout, of course. 3 times the BSRTC comes to Silverstone, the historic first, GP then, and then it's going to be, I think, the national later in the season. Carl Johnson now on camera. Car number 22, battling with car number 30. Christian Rosso, who's having a good deal of battles in the beginning of this race. The car crossed the start-finish line. We are in lap 5 of 11, so basically halfway through this first one. Let's see if Rosso will try and move on the inside though. At Cox, I apologize. Somebody ran wide there. Of course, when I was a little kid, the only corner I knew in Silverstone was Stowe, because that's where Michael Schumacher crashed in 1999, and it was the talk of the town here in Italy for basically the entire summer and until the end of the season, wondering what could have been, because people thought that could have been the year Ferrari finally won a title again. Of course, they won next season, as we have got another battle for P1. This time is Sutton trying to make the move in the exact same place as before. He has got the outside, Sviridovic has the inside. They bump and bang. Proper touring car racing here. And Sutton is back in the lead. Nice move there. Good exit there from Sviridovic, as well as basically what this did is to compact the entire top 5, 6, 7 cars. Again, side by side, again bumping and banging, these two. Amazing racing, Sam.
Yeah, amazing racing. I think this is gonna go on for a while.
Whoa. Hopefully they don't crash each other out. That was awfully close. The front end of Sviridovic's car. Oh! And Sutton saves it. Oh man, I really should shut up. That
Yeah,
was a
there you go
commentator's
again.
curse.
I think
Commentator's
during
curse
one
at
of,
its finest.
yeah, one of the races someone said that you are not cursing them, you are just predicting them.
Well, these guys are making my job so easy because I just let these guys run and basically we can pretend to be fans and we are basically fans in the booth because these guys are putting on an amazing show. Sutton back in the lead and I don't think that Svirido will be happy with P2. He tried to put the front of his car into the 01's back to make the move like NASCAR style. It didn't work, but he's going to try again, I'm sure. And he can use the slipstream here on Hangar Street, even though Sedgwick is very, very close and might try a move.
Yeah, I think this is something that we see often here with the cars punching up in this kind of groups. They are not really able to get away from each other, and as the viewers can see on the track map, there is basically just a one long line with a couple of gaps in between, but that's really it. And right here, Sedgwick, he is definitely looking for any kind of opportunity if Sutton or Swidovic make just a small, tiny mistake. And then there will be Sedgwick, Simpson, Glatzel and everyone else jumping on it.
Of course, this is going to play nicely into the second and third race because with the reverse, we are going to see maybe these top guys having some problems making passes from the back of the pack towards the front of the pack because with the slipstream, it's not so easy to, you know, it's easy to try to make the pass, but it's not easy like to create a gap between yourself and the guys behind you, as we see again, Kalle Jansson, and now there's a multi-car crash. See Laura Bond around and car number 25.
Stevens.
Yeah, Kip Stevens also involved. They all managed to get back onto the track and not lose a lap as we see the replay. Whoa, too many cars, too little track, I think.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. But looking at this, I don't think they've learned much. Here they go, three wide.
Three wide once again.
Wide.
See some cars looking second-hand, to say the least.
Yeah, I think that's Rob Graham who just had a little bit of collision with Max Wright and Laura Bond, and he is right back at it.
Yeah. See, it's so difficult to control your car in these corners, especially when you're side by side. Wow, just a little bit of contact can send your car flying in the grass. You see these new, very nice Vortex Race Flow liveries making their debut, I think, in the Silverstone round.
Yeah, we have two new teams. That is, first one is Vortex, and their second team is Vortex Race Flow.
So good luck to these guys. Of course, some of them are old faces in new places, if I can say that.
Yeah, from what I understand, is mostly the Bodak drivers who have switched around and rebranded as a new team. I think there might be some new faces in there as well.
Lap 7 of 11, I was talking about staying on the lead lap. Remember that to be eligible for the reverse, you have to be at the most one lap down, and of course you have to be you need to have somebody at one lap down with you. You get like one of those -1 reverses. As we see, Nathan Davis get in the pits.
Yeah, he must have some damage, and I think I saw him in some trouble. Let's see if we can find out what happened. Oh, there he goes sideways.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really look like he has much damage, so it might be something else. Maybe hardware issue. Oh, okay, that's
the steering wheel. Yeah. Suspension damage.
Yeah, he's turning to the left and the car is going to the right, so... That might be it.
Back live here with Nicole Foggy. He's having a very nice battle. With Josh
also
Thompson.
the battle at the top. Yeah, battle at the top is continuing. Still very close. We'll look at it in a moment.
Still Sutton, Sviridovic, Sedgwick, Simpson. Glatzel trying to make it back to the podium spots after his mistake. He hasn't really been able to close the gap, even though you see the gap is so small. It's almost strange what I'm saying, but in the slow corners he's close to Alex Simpson, but then when the cars go on a straight, he loses a little bit of a gap with the guys in front of him. We are entering lap 10 of 11, so 2 to go, or not? It's
lap
3
9,
to go.
I believe.
Lap 9, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like you can kind of close in easily, but it's very difficult to make an overtake. So unlike in some other tracks, you just have to make the overtake as soon as you can. Whereas with the other tracks that are also heavy in the drafting, you may just want to wait until the last lap, otherwise you will get overtaken, but I don't think that's the case here.
You either make your pass immediately, or if you wait a bit, you have to use your front end basically to make the pass, or your side doors, or your doors.
Yeah, let's just hope it doesn't come to that, because that is usually a evening of headache for the admins.
Yeah. Looking back from the leader's car towards the champion car. You see, basically here.
That is.
The track limits there are, to say like Fernando Alonso said once, a little bit of a yoke, because cars can go basically with 4 wheels on the right side of the curb, and I don't think maybe you get a 1x, but you don't get a slowdown. And if you are in a league, so no problem with your safety rating, you can basically use your incident points strategically, so to speak, to get good exit out of certain corners. As we see, car number 35 is Alex Everett trying to make a move on Jamie Rushworth, but right behind him is his teammate Nicole Foggy. Some contact there. Maybe Foggy can use this to make a pass. He has got to watch behind, because Pete Herrod is in this battle as well. And now we are in lap 10, so it's 2 to go. Foggy on the inside. Everett sideways. You can hear his tire squealing. Now Foggy has to cover the inside, going to Maggots and Beckett's. Going to be very tight here. Everybody behaving more or less. They know that, like I said before, minimal contact can send your car flying in all directions. Maybe it's better to wait a bit and take your chances at the end of the Hangar Straight. And I think Baker is, Baker passed Sven Glatzel. I'm seeing on my timing screen. Another position lost, and Baker is in the top 5. Foggy and Harrod at it again. Harrod on the inside, Foggy on the outside. You can, like we said before, cut a little bit of the track. Foggy is a little bit wide, but he's going to have the inside and the chicane. Out on the brakes, the Scottish driver, trying maybe to force the issue. Harrod is a little bit deep there, but he makes the move stick, and he gets the position. As they go under the bridge once again for the penultimate time. Carl Johnson, meanwhile, trying to get around Colin Cunliffe. As the final lap begins.
And at the front, not much has changed really. Ash Sutton leading, with Wojciech following close behind. And Sedgwick and Simpson 10 on forwards. Then there's a little bit of gap to Dave Baker. I'm not sure, has he had some kind of issue at some point, because I think he used to be much closer than that. Now the gap
something
is
must have happened.
about 4 seconds.
Yeah, something must have happened between. I saw Baker and Glatzel in a battle before, and maybe this battle went on for half a lap, let's say, or the entire lap, and that was all that the guys at the front needed to get this huge gap that they're having right now. So
yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm not seeing any issues for him, so that must be it.
So Sutton has pulled a little bit of a gap on Sviridovic, not much, it's 0.3 of a second, so it's going to take like a lunge from car number 1 to pass car number 01 in this final lap. I don't know if Wojciech will try and risk the pass there, because he's sitting in a very, very comfortable and good second position, a podium spot. Sutton at the pole position was the fastest car in qualifying, so no shame in finishing second, but Wojciech led for a little bit, tried to make the move a couple of times, but I think that this one is in the bag. The CQR driver Ashley Sutton, final corners for him. Pedal to the metal, start finish line coming, and Ashley Sutton wins race 1 at Silverstone with Sviridovic second, Sedgwick is in third, Alex Simpson is in fourth, and they are coming behind him 2 wide. We got David Baker, Glatzel, Rushworth, Everett, Harrod, Foggy. This is the top 10. There are a lot of other drivers. We see Rusty Laidler here, also finishing 2 wide with another competitor. And in the end, basically, I think we see all these other battles resolving towards the start-finish line. We only have 1 car 1 lap down and 2 cars that are respectively 3 and 4 laps down. So if there's a big reverse, it's going to be a big reverse.
Yeah, that's unusual really. I think it might be just drivers are so used to this track that there is not that many driving errors. I think we're used to seeing much more DNFs, especially on kind of weirder and shorter tracks. Even on like something like Brand Hats, there's usually much more did not finish incidents and like cars not making it to the finish. But so, let's go over the results really quickly. Let's just find it. And yes, Ash Sutton wins this first race of the evening, followed by Wojciech Sviridovic and second, and third is Jack Sedgwick. Fourth, Alex Simpson. Fifth, Dave Baker. Sixth, Sven Glatzel. Seventh, Jamie Rushworth. Eighth, Alex Everett. Ninth, Pete Harrod. 10th, Nicole Foggy. 11th, Josh Thompson. 12th, Carl Jansson. 13, Colin Cuniff. 14, Martin Brandt. 15, Kristen Rose. 16, Adam McNally. 17th, Jesper Trilicka. 18th, Russell Laidler. 19th, Michael Davis. 20th, Paul Smith. 21st, Jack McIntyre. 22nd, Chris Wood. 23rd, Pete Newman. 24th, Mark Johnston. 25th, Ross McFarlane. 26th, Mark Woodhouse. 27th, Greg Williams. 28th, Michael Blake. 29th, Christian Boris. 30, William Daniels. 31, Matt Keeper. 32, Scott Malcolm. 33rd, Jack Blackhall. 34th, Brian Holmes. 35th, Stephen Baxter. 36th, Lee Deemer. 37th, Barry Morrison. 38th, Steve Burke. 39th, Tyler Vickery. 40th, Rob Graham. 41st, Dave Crozier 42, Kip Stevens 43, Laura Bond 44, Max Wright, and then one lap down is Maciej Cekovic, 4 laps down Nathan Davis, and 5 laps down Adam Hadfield. Got through it.
Yeah, and before you can go behind the cameras, one final favor you need to do to us, Sam, and spinning the wheel.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, why is my wheel not spinning? Just a moment. These are the things you should test before the race. Yep,
As
that
we
is
see.
not. Yeah, it is not spinning for some reason. Let me see if I can find another wheel then.
So as
Okay.
we wait,
Yeah.
okay, here we go.
Throwback to the 2017. This is the Kip Stevens special. It's the big wheel. And it is 32.
So that should put Scott Malcolm on pole position for race 2 and Matthew Kieber in the front row with him.
So while we are waiting for the next race, I think we will take a small break, hopefully less incidents on the broadcasting side for the next race, and we will have hopefully Sam Fitzpatrick joining us. So see you then.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Would it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerrick at the line.
a bit there. Going to be side by side. This is where we saw the contact last lap, but they're sorting themselves out this time now under the bridge. This is really wet.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It seems like YouTube disconnected us for a moment, and we should be back online right now. Carry on.
So for that little interruption there, but yeah, didn't miss too much, I think, on this lap at least. Of course, did have that massive incident on the opener. Still, Scott Malcolm leading the way at the moment with Tristan Bottas running in second position. But it's so competitive just behind, and actually 2 tenths between the two leaders, and actually pulling away a little bit from William Daniels. I didn't expect to see that, Marco.
Yeah. Difficult to pull away, but they are doing this, and Daniels needs to watch behind his back because Blake, Williams, McIntyre are all coming. I'm taking a look at the leaders from race 1. I see Nicole Foggy is in P16. Glatzel is in 20th position. 22nd is Simpson and Sedgwick. Sutton is in 27th. Slapping in the 57th. So we'll see if he's severely damaged or not in this lap. Cameras are still on Christian Rose here, car number 30.
Laidler under a bit of pressure down here. And he's just behind Paul Smith. Laidler up 4 positions from where he started, ahead of Mark Woodhouse, who's gone down 5 positions. Is anyone looking for a move at the moment, Abby? It's just not too many drivers forcing the moves at the moment, but it is a little bit side by side here. Carl Janssen trying to make his way up through the field in the Radicals car. And down the inside he goes, just going past Christian Rose, I think. And Sven Glatzel not too far behind as well. He'll be looking to make his way up through the field as well.
Yeah, as we see, basically at the top of the field, they are now once again all one line astern, because I think also we have Blake and Williams trading positions. Malcolm, Bottas and Daniels now 1, 2, 3. Blake, McIntyre, Williams now is in P6, and Johnston is very, very close to Williams as well. And now he makes the pass. We see Alex Simpson here trying to gain positions. He had a very, very good race 1, P4. Having a very, very clean race. Wow, car in the grass.
Yeah, Craig Williams off the circuit there. Mark Johnston making the move. I think hanging on to that position, actually. I think he had lost the position to McIntyre. But Johnston hanging on to 6th, and maybe not for much longer. There goes Craig Williams. I don't think Johnston's going to have a response down here because he's lost all of his momentum. Heading down into Stowe now, and yeah, he's way too far behind. Just behind Keebert and Wood getting side by side into Stowe corner.
I am so used to Craig Williams running his Craig Setup Shop livery that I'm a little bit thrown off today. That was very, very colorful and recognizable. Some banging here, the chicane.
He cars cutting the circuit a little bit. Well, I don't know how much liberties you can take there, but yeah, they're cutting it quite significantly. Mark Woodhouse losing another position, I think, on this lap here, Foggy.
Yeah, we have been told from the drivers that in driver briefing they were told it's okay to cut there. Of course, iRacing will take care of the eventual penalties if you cut too much, but it's okay. We saw basically most of the guys have all 4 wheels on the right side of the curve there. Now in a battle here with Alex Simpson.
This could be an awesome move from Alex Simpson. He's going to be on the outside again though, through Woodcote. Can he just pull ahead going into Cops corner? He's not going to be fully ahead. And it's going to be difficult for Simpson to pull off because he's almost certainly going to be pushed off the circuit here. But actually carrying the speed out, and he has gone off the circuit, Simpson, I think, losing a bit of time. But he has made that move eventually.
Yeah, took a little bit, but that was a very, very good move by Alex Simpson. Now he's up. think he's in position 19, so top 20. We see a 5 wide.
Smith was an awful run coming out of Maggots and Beckett's, and I'd like to listen.
Oh, some contact.
It's just absolutely insane. 2 by 2, 3 wide in the third row. How is this one going to sort itself out? There's almost 4 wide just in the background. Can they all spot their braking markers? Oh, a little bit of contact there. Just losing out was one of the was Foggy, I think. Paul Smith, I think, actually.
They all go really wide there. Better to go a little bit wide than to get into another car. This is the trouble spot all race long, all night long, I should say. Now down the bridge, finish this 5th very exciting lap.
Oof. Oh, and the car around potentially, that was Smith very nearly losing it, I think. But he hung on to it, still side by side a little bit there. You can just see Glatzel ahead of Smith. Janssen trying to go around the outside of another car, but couldn't quite make it stick. And McNally trying to hold off Blackhall, I think, or Brian Holmes. And actually going to lose out to Holmes, and Simpson just ahead as well.
Basically, we got the first 7 cars, then there's a huge gap of 5 seconds, and then there's everybody else. So, very peculiar situation in the field. See the gap maybe on your TV cameras and in the timing. If you go watch the live timing, you see this is a very strange situation as cars move sideways here at Maggots and Beckett's. Oh wow, that was Ash Sutton trying to make a move, and he was able to do that, and now he's trying to make even more positions. Of course, he was involved in that crash at the beginning of the race.
Back out the front of this field, it is Wood who's leading this pack. He's not exactly slow, although he is starting to make a bit of a break. Maybe can try to attack the drivers ahead. Oh, big contacts in the background. That was Janssen, I think. That was a Radical's car at least, and Laidler as well. And he's dropping down the field as Rusty Laidler.
Big damage.
Oh, a massive crash again for Janssen. So I think he was pretty fed up with that one.
Suspension damage, I think, for both cars. The race is over, and most importantly, they will not be able to get the reverse for race 3, so it's going to be an uphill battle later tonight in the final race of the evening.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for those guys. The race wasn't too easy either, but yeah, it's going to be a tough race 3 as well. Malcolm actually breaking away from this field. I think McIntyre and Johnston swapped positions a couple of times on this lap, but Bodice has kind of dropped back a little bit and given Malcolm a little bit of breathing space, and out wide there was McIntyre, actually losing out to Johnston there.
Yeah, thought he was going for a trip in the grass and then in the fence, but he was able to save it and minimize the damage. But yeah, you're right. Malcolm is lapping 56.8, 1 second faster basically than the guys behind him in this last lap. So he's creating a little bit of a cushion, 1 second, not much, but it should be enough not to get passed via the slipstream here on the Younger Straight, maybe as the laps go on.
Yeah, just looking at the gap, and down that Hanger Straight, Bodice still managed to gain about 1/10 of a second. So if you can just, you know, edge closer, have equal pace, that slipstream should get him well back into contention. McIntyre under pressure from Williams once again. So that was yeah, Johnston under pressure from McIntyre. Also trying to get the move on Blake as well, but these two teammates, I think, Blake and Johnston, and yeah, it's a difficult one how to call this because they seem pretty evenly matched. But if they start fighting against one another, then seemingly Blake is feeling the pressure a little bit. He's missing a couple of apexes, and that's allowed Johnston now to go down the inside of McIntyre. Doesn't fight it too hard. He needs to try to only lose 1 position hit, only to his teammate. He's staying down the inside as McIntyre, trying to hold off Michael Blake. But he's going to lose out, and he could lose out another position as well. side by side through Woodcut for Blake and Williams. Really unfortunate lap this one, Blake. He was running in P3. He might be down to P6 any moment now, but he is very strong through that Copse corner, and he can hang on for the moment, although Williams still not giving up. This really isn't an overtaking spot, and Williams respects that.
While at the front, the gap is now down to 0.4 of a second, so something must have happened to Malcolm, maybe a little mistake, or maybe just well, Bodis at a 56.3 and Malcolm a 57.2, so a mistake by Malcolm or a very good lap by Bodis. Either way, the battle for P1 is on, and I think Tristan will try and make the move in the next couple of laps, maybe even a little bit sooner.
Well, judging by that last lap, it seems as though Bodis has got the pace to make the move and then pull away. They don't have to worry about the faster drivers moving their way through the field. It was a massive reverse grid, of course, and because of that, it means that the leading drivers from race 1 haven't really been able to factor in the lead battle in this race 2. Almost looking for a move there was McIntyre on Johnston. And down the inside, then Foggy losing out to Davies that time, just ahead of kind of Woods, still leading this pack. I don't know how he's managed to do that, but he's been at the front of this oil pack for a while now, and actually Sutton with a major issue.
Maybe a disqualification, I don't know. Is oh yes, it's a replay. Let's see. Contact there on the grass and a disqualification, yes. Thank you, Samuel, behind the cameras for the timely replay, and that's gonna be huge for the championship, of course. Sutton, one of the guys hunting for that showdown at the end of the season, and this is not going to help him. And once again, it's going to be a problem in race 3 for him as well, because he won't be part of the reverse.
Yeah, and it's pretty early on actually to get a disqualification. Expect a few more cars to get that, but he was very aggressive considering that he was 1 instant away seemingly. I don't think it was a 4x. I think it was just the 1x by going off the circuit, which finished him off. I think it's 15 instants. Yeah, 15 instants in this in each of these races. McIntyre still looking really good, isn't he? And Johnston and McIntyre on that last lap actually closing in on the 2 leaders by 0.2 of a second. If McIntyre can get this one done, could really challenge for the race win maybe.
Yeah, and also Craig Williams there, hunting, waiting for a mistake, like the 2 guys in front of him are waiting for a mistake by Malcolm and Bodis. Bodis will have to try to make the move. There's not a lot of time left, because we are basically 2.5 laps away from the end of the race. McIntyre is very aggressive here, trying for the outside. Great run. Throws the car on the inside. Oof. Can he make it stick? Great racing there, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
And now Craig Williams gets in the party. Amazing.
So Johnston hangs on to P3, and from attack to defense now for Jack McIntyre. Got to defend against Craig Williams. He's going to get the slipstream down here. That could be crucial. And just getting a bit more slipstream actually is McIntyre. To the outside he goes. This line has worked pretty well today through Copse corner. It's side by side for the lead as well. But McIntyre should have the ideal line.
Bodis threw the car in the first corner almost sideways. I was sure there was going to be contact. They were amazing, both him and Malcolm, in order to avoid that. But this made lose both guys lots of momentum, and now basically we have a 5-car pack for the lead.
Yeah, Michael Blake just losing touch with these guys in recent laps, which you'll be a little bit frustrated with. Just hasn't got the pace seemingly to keep up, or they could be in that pack by the end. Go and make the moves now if you want to win this race. And to the outside goes Craig Williams and Jack McIntyre. Williams trying to force the move. They're making contacts all the way through Stowe corner. Down the inside goes Craig Williams, and he's going to make that one into club. Crucial move for Williams now, and he can move on to Johnston, Bodis and Malcolm.
think he's having his best race of the season so far, Williams, at least the ones I have been a commentator of, and now sitting in P4 looking very, very good, as these guys are getting ready for the final lap, and I don't know who's going to win, I have to be honest with you.
Oh, back down the inside here is Williams. He wants to get on with it, doesn't he? Trying to get past Johnston right now. To the inside he goes. Still going to be side by side here. Can he just keep ever so slightly in there? He can. And there's contact between the two of them. They're losing each other time. And down the inside now goes Jack McIntyre. And almost losing the car. There is Johnston. McIntyre could gain 2 positions in a single corner. Nick Heifeld-esque there. Down the inside he goes, and he is going to make it stick. That's awesome for McIntyre. Opportunistic driving to the max.
I watched the video earlier today, and I have to say bodies is looking very, very racy. Oh, we need a split screen like the darts. I always say that. Contact, huge contact, McIntyre in the grass.
Here to 0. Can he get on back safely? He's going to have a big slowdown though, and he's going to lose at least 2 more positions after this, I think. And yet you'll just see him ease off the gas. Awesome driving from McIntyre, but in the end, it was Johnston who was just very aggressive down into that corner, and yeah, one of them had to lose out in the end.
We've seen Bodies throw the car a couple of times. He's desperate to get the win, in my opinion. Will he do a desperate move in these final few corners?
Hasn't been able to force it so far. The closest he came was an attempt at Cops a couple of laps ago, and he's not really close enough to Abbey. He's been closer than this in past laps, and through this part of the circuit it seems like Malcolm has got the edge on him. Final sector, right on the tail, a little bit of a bump. Bottas will do anything for the race victory here. Now surely this is his best chance. He's just got to carry the speed through here. He can't find the inside though, and he hasn't got a particularly good cutback either. He's a little bit wide. Now can he dive down the inside? He's running out of corners to make it Tristan Bottas, and he's out wide now. Just 2 corners to go, and it looks like Scott Malcolm has got this one covered in the 31 car. Out of Luffields into Woodcote. Scott Malcolm going to take race 2 of the evening. Superb driving from pole position to the race victory. Awesome driving from Scott Malcolm.
Yeah, great win, absolutely great win for Malcolm. He kept his cool, defended well, absolutely 100% deserved victory, and some great racing behind him all the way through the back of the pack. We saw some exceptional driving. And a couple of surprises because, of course, we have Zviridovic in 37th position. I think he will finish there. We saw a disqualification for Ash Sutton, other good drivers, Carl Jansson, for example. We have David Baker all having trouble. So Steven Baxter also had a lot of problems. Kip Stevens as well. It was a very, very chaotic race, but chaotic good. Not chaotic bad. It was a nice race.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course we will have race 3 coming up in about 20 minutes time, but for now Scott Malcolm taking the race victory. Tristan Bottas could just not force the overtake in the end. Awesome start for Bottas, went from 4th to 2nd in the opening corner. He ends up in that position. Mark Johnston ends up in 3rd with Craig Williams 4th. They had a great battle along with Jack McIntyre. Somehow hung on to 5th place. I don't know how he did that. Michael Blake in 6th. Nicole Foggy rose from 23rd to 7th. Jack Sedgwick 30th to 8th. William Daniels finishes in 9th with Sven Glatzel 10th. It's Chris Wood, Colin Cunningham, Alex Everett, Michael Davies, Matthew Keeber, Alex Simpson, Brian Holmes, Jake Blackhall, Mark Woodhouse, and Barry Morrison in 20th position. There's Christian Rose, Adam McNally, Maciej Sakovic, Pete Harrod, Martin Funt, Ross McFarlane, Lee Deemer, Max Wright, Adam Hadfield, Pete Newman in 30th position. That's Stephen Baxter, Kip Stevens, Robert Graham, Tyler Lugo victory, David Crozier, Paul Smith, Wojciech Suidovic in 37th. So yeah, crucially within 2 laps. So Stephen Burke 1 lap down along with Laura Bond, and then Ashley Sutton 4 laps down along with Nathan Davies and Jesper Delica. Dusty Laidler finishes in 43rd with Carl Janssen 44th, and 10 laps down were Baker, Rushworth and Thompson. And the final spin of the wheel for the evening, Sam.
And yes, the wheel should be now fixed, so let's hope that it is still working. Where it is? Here? Yes, it is working.
Hey!
And it will be... Oh. Well, it is almost working. 25.
25. That is Martin Frunt. Ross McFarlane just missing out along with Lee Diemer. But yeah, Martin Frunt in with pole position ahead of Pete Harrod and Maciej Sakovic. We will be back in about 20 minutes time for the final race of the evening here at Silverstone.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Because here comes Holgate. Yes, the outside line through the final corner for the final time. Once again, photo finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Holgate? It's going to be Christopher DeMerrick at the line.
Welcome back to race 3 of the evening of the BSRTC here at Silverstone live on Apex Racing TV. I am Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is Marco Balbiner and Sam Kumo on the cameras. And Marco, of course, first race, relatively clean. We had a little bit of a pile-up, but you know, it's a minor one in this race. Race 2 was a little bit more action-packed, still good quality of driving, and I think race 3, maybe the volcanoes will erupt.
25 reverse, and most, if not all, of the top drivers are in the back of the pack because they were involved in some shenanigans in the second race, so they couldn't make up ground. It's going to be an interesting one, and I am looking out for a couple of names that can really do really well in this third race and bring home an unexpected race win. We are waiting for the official start of the race session, so then we will have the starting grid to show you, but I mean, we are halfway through the season, and these drivers are starting, I hope they are starting to think about what's coming next. Yeah, there are still a lot of rounds to go, 14 to go, and is getting closer and closer. If you want important positions, high up. Oh, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, you're just breaking up ever so slightly. I think Marco, but you're still okay, I think.
Okay, that is not good, of course, but yeah, I was saying that these drivers are maybe one eye on the race, but one eye on the championship from, I think, this round or the next round onwards.
Yeah, I think we have a showdown in this series, don't we?
Yes.
So, top 12, I think, qualify. Our co-commentator, of course, Alex Simpson, will be hoping to get that top 12. I'm not sure how he is at the moment. I think we might actually have the championship standings. I don't have them in front of me. But, yeah, of course, those drivers will be trying to get in. Of course, bonus points as well, I think, for podiums and race victories, which should really help them come the last. And yeah, going to be a fascinating showdown because it is just so competitive, Marco. We come to expect from this series. Of course, the key doesn't come that much down to setup. We never see drivers dominate this series. I think ever we've seen the same winner in all 3 races, and you think we've done, hundreds of these events. It is so difficult to really take a stranglehold on the championship, and that means that it's going to come down almost certainly to the very last race.
Yes, usually we see 3 different winners every night we do our championship, so competition is always tough. Next week we will be at Sebring, by the way, very unique track with a lot of bumps and a couple of very long straights, so I'm expecting more of the same. Then we go to interesting tracks like Mosport, Snetterton, Mid-Ohio, Okayama, Nürburgring, Spa and Monza. This is to basically before a little bit of a break before coming back to Silverstone in a national layout. Sonoma, I think the worst track in the entire world. Brands Hatch, Mount Panorama and Suzuka on the 11th of October to round up the regular season. Then the track selection for the showdown, of course, Road America, Watkins Glen, Interlagos, Monza without the first chicane, which I always say it's a great way to postpone your problems until the second chicane, and Daytona, the road course of the 24 hours. And I think we are ready to go.
Yes, and by the way, Sonoma's okay. Stop giving Sonoma a hard time. It's a decent, it's better than any Roval. Martin Frunt is on pole position for this one, with Pete Howard in second, and it's Maciej Sakovic in third. Adam McNally, Christian Rose, Barry Morrison, Mark Woodhouse, Jake Blackhall, Brian Holmes, and Alex Simpson rounding out the top 10. Kip Stevens just connecting to the session. I hope he can make this this final race of the day. He should be starting right near to the back of the grid, I think, so watch out for him. Of course, what was Michael was saying earlier on with the quick drives, Josh Thompson near the back, Kyle Jansen, Ashley Sutton starting down in 40th position. Wojciech Suridovic starting in 37th. And yeah, it's going to be really tough for those drivers to make their way through the field. And away we go. That's a good start for Funtz, just about hanging, just about ahead at the moment. And he's got the inside line going into turn 1, trying to hold off Pete Howard. Pete Howard trying to force him into a mistake in these opening couple of corners, but just behind, Maciej Sakovic trying to challenge it down the inside into Maggots and Beckett. And Sakovic makes the move that could be crucial for the race. Just all filing into line, and McNally's gone down 2 positions already. Sedgwick has gone up 6 in just the first couple of corners. Cunniff is off the circuit though. He's come down the field. He's already down about 15 places.
Yeah, he's running in the grass. You see they're gonna have a massive slowdown. Everybody behaved, and I'm keeping an eye on Sakovic because he had connection trouble in the first 2 races. Now he's in 2nd position. Hopefully he can bring the car home and get a good result out of this 3-race meeting.
Well, he's certainly put himself into a good position right now, just behind Martin Front, just ahead. Here is Holmes and Woodhouse. Side by side, Woodhouse round the outside. Holmes started just behind, but he might be able to force the move here. He's on the outside though. Woodhouse got the inside. He's going to have to be so late on the brakes, but he's not going to quite be able to pressure Holmes. And just behind is Blackhall and also Simpson. He's failed to move up any positions right now. Simpson with a chance at the race victory, perhaps with his pace in race 1, and he's trying to make a move on Blackhall in this opening part of the circuit. And it is just so difficult because if you're not attacking, Marco, you are being attacked.
Absolutely, and 1 second you're attacking, 1 second you are defending. Sometimes you are attacking and defending at the same time. And a little bit of contact.
Wow.
And Alex makes his way through. I think he gains a position there on Blackhall. It was a little bit sideways. Nice battling there. Going down the first corner now. 3 wide basically. Let's see how they're going to sort this out.
Everett making the move there. He's up 4 positions from 13th on the grid. Simpson trying to hang on there, but Everett is going to have the better line perhaps through here. Simpson, back out of it, Alex, back out of it. It's not worth your time. He's not backing out of it, and he has made contact in the end with Everett. Everett does an awesome job to save the car. He could have been out of the race there. Instead, he's only lost a couple of positions, but Simpson benefiting from that in the end. I think that was just a racing incident, Marco.
Yeah, the elbows are absolutely out in this 3rd race of the evening. Everybody trying to make up for maybe a bad race 2 and race 1, or maybe to get another good result. So everybody is absolutely on their game 100%. And we saw some great driving there and a very, very tough section of the track. Now everybody trying to break here. Nicole Foggy trying for a move, I think, on Glatzel. Gary outside, so it's not going to be easy. Also because Glatzel cut a bit too much there, I think. Let's see.
He's not slowing down, is he? Maybe Glatzel's got away with that. So really, you can cut that corner. It may as well just not be a corner. You may as well just, cut it every time. But in these cars, are one of the few cars where you can kind of do that quite easily. Saw that in the Mazdas as well back on Tuesday. But Glatzel trying to make the move on Kieber currently down the inside goes Glatzel, not quite close enough though. Really close out in the lead, by the way. Top 6 are all separated, or sorry, top 5 at least, all separated by about a second to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, great racing. Kip Stevens sadly had to take the start 1 lap down, and he's having some connection trouble, I think. So yeah, not a good race for him. Off pace as well. Yeah, we go back live with the leaders. Martin Franz, Sakovic and Arrod 1, 2, 3 with Rose Morrison and McNally and Holmes right behind them.
Yeah, so far, Marco, today we've seen, I'd say, overtaking quite difficult. We saw in the last race, it was Bottas just couldn't force the move in the end on Malcolm in the end. And we've also seen the quick drivers struggling to make their way through the field. It's an odd one because, we've got straights around here. It's not a super tight, twisty circuit like Okayama or or Owen Park or something like that. It is a little bit more expensive than that, but yeah, these drivers just struggling to make these overtakes.
Yeah, maybe in the first race Samuel said the right thing. These drivers know this track so well. They go here 3 times, even though in different configurations. So they know all the secrets basically, and they know how to attack, but also how to defend very well. So maybe that's the reason, because you are right, there are a lot of straights, a lot of chicanes where you can dive bomb your way in. It's not always easy, like we see right now. Woodhouse on camera right now, car number 24 with Sedgwick right behind him.
Yeah, Cedric up 8 positions. Oh, so close behind as well with Everett. He's going to try to get involved in this one, because Everett could have been ahead of Simpson at this point, but contact between the two of them. And can Everett profit a little bit from this battle just ahead? He can't quite get his nose in there right now, and it's going to be side by side now. Woodhouse versus Sedgwick. Through Woodcote. And actually just having to back off, I think, is Sedgwick, and he's got to be careful from the drivers behind. Could be really ambitious around the outside. He is going to be ambitious. Is Jack Sedgwick, and he's going to have the ideal line, I think, here. A much better run, and Sedgwick pulling off that move up into 9th position.
Beautiful driving right there. Now he has the preferred line to Maggots and Beckett, so he can maybe try to create a little gap and go and catch Alex Simpson. Meanwhile, the battle in the front so tight. The first 4 drivers in 7/10 of a second. Well, basically the first 7-8 drivers are all together. Let's see if Aaron tries a move. Oh, maybe there's a little bit of a contact there. Yes, the leader is on the grass.
And Howard, can he profit from this front? Oh dear, come on. So unfortunate for him, but a little bit of a tap there. We didn't really see it too much, and almost just cutting off the nose there was Barry Morrison. Front down into P5. Can he come back later on? Sakovic hung on against Howard. That was almost heaven there for Howard, right in front of him through Stowe corner. He's still close. Let's see the replay.
Yeah, contact bumper to bumper basically. Luckily for front, there's a lot of tarmac there and not only grass. If that was grass, he was probably going to finish his race in the fence. Very unfortunate there, because these two were having a great battle. Luckily front is still in the hunt for the victory, even though he lost a lot of positions. Now he's in 5th.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to challenge back Sedgwick and Simpson now. Oh, with this, look at this battle though. This is Suridovic making his way through the field, up 16 positions, and Baxter and McFarlane, Davies and Kiba just ahead. Can Sakovic go for a move here? I think there was a bit of tie score just ahead.
Yeah.
Sakovic looking to the inside, and there was a car off the circuit.
I think that was Sven Glatzel going really wide.
Right, okay. Oh, Sakovic, Suridovic, going to be difficult round here. Got the inside. This didn't end too well. The last time an Apex driver went for this move, but Suridovic making the move seemingly, although still he can't get ahead. Going to be side by side down the hangar, straight on contact between the two of them. Michael Davies and Suridovic, a little bit of contact, and just behind now is Baxter trying to go through. Down the inside goes Baxter into Stowe corner. But Davies trying not to give up. He's going to have the inside potentially for club, and he should be able to hang on to that one. Suridovic just ahead still. Baxter's still going to go for it. We can't really turn our eyes away from this. There's plenty of battles going on, and you can see one going on straight ahead. Suridovic trying to go for the move as well. Baxter still side by side with Davies. For half a lap they've been like this. Baxter just about moving ahead, and Suridovic managed to make the move on Kiba. And
Back in the front, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Isakovic going for the race lead there. Pete Howard moves down into 2nd place, and now we question whether Pete can respond or not.
Yeah, we see front now up one position, was P5, now is P4. Oh, the attack on the inside. Not an easy place to pass. Can Arad hold on to it? He can. Great move. But now they're going 3 wide. This is not recommended, guys.
They don't care. And Howard, oh, can he hang on to this one? Is he going to lose it? No, he's hung on to it. That's amazing.
God!
And over the curves. How have they not made contact? Sakovic moves back into the lead. Howard's not giving up on it though. They're going to be side by side going onto the hang straight. Car off in the background. This front pack is now consisting of about 10 cars. Howard pulling ahead. Sakovic and Rose right on his tail, and you can see the carnage going on behind as well. Down the inside there is Sakovic. Howard might get pushed out here unless he can keep his nose in there. Sakovic takes the lead. And he pulls this off. No, there's more contact between the two of them. Can Sakovic stay on the circuit? He can't. He's not going to get a slowdown for that. And a car around in the background. That was Simpson. So, yeah, Sakovic down into 4th now.
What is going on, guys? Oh, now 4 wide again in this little stretch. Everybody jostling for position. There's not a lot of space to... Oh, once again, contact. Amazing driving by these guys. They are avoiding any major crash. They are having a lot of discussions on the track. Now the leaders are trying to get a little bit of a gap.
Well, from fighting for the lead, Sakovic is right in the midst of it now. Down into P7 and more contact. And surely he's gone now. He is gone. So that was, yeah, that was Everett falling down the field.
Contact between Sakovic and Everett, if I'm not mistaken.
So here it was, that was, yeah, that was Sakovic. Sorry, that was an Apex car, I think. Too much to keep up with.
Here's Everett. Let's see the replay. I think it was car number 40 with him. Yes. And then after that, Sedgwick, for good measure, gave him another bump. Nothing he could do, of course. Sedgwick there. The car was already spinning.
Does mean that Cedric and Foggy are up 12 positions each. Car is a bit slow on the inside now. Just defending into this next corner. McNally just ahead of Cedric. Cedric needs to make these moves now. Could get a podium out of this. Down the inside he maybe goes. And left himself a little bit vulnerable there, McNally. But he knows what he's doing because he's going to have the inside for the next corner. Good job from Adam. Can he get the slipstream from Morrison just ahead? These guys now 2.5 seconds off the lead. We saw an awesome 12-car battle earlier on. It's going to be a 2 battle, I think, to the lead. And cars off in the background.
And he saved it. Who was that? I think it was Chris Wood, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, now the car stops on the exit of club, I think, as well.
Some amazing saves today, Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, just in this race we've seen 3 or 4, haven't we? Johnston just ahead of Sakovic and Williams. Oh, it's so frustrating for Sakovic, you know? Fighting for the race win and he's just falling down the field. Just getting pushed out, a bit bullied out there. And he's holding on against Williams at the moment. Williams to the outside just behind is Suwidovic as well. Up 24 places from where he started. And he might be up 25 now because he's just hit the back.
Disqualified.
Oh, wow.
Terrible evening for Sakovic. 2 disconnection and a disqualification. Wow. Too bad we lose one of the protagonists of today's race 3. He was putting on a show for us, but sadly he got to that 15x limit and that was his race. So a night to forget for him.
Yeah, we'll be really frustrated with that one. Oh, almost around here. Another amazing save. McNally again. Just ahead of Johnston now, front, and Woodhouse just ahead. Down the inside goes Johnston. McNally hanging on. Super close between Holmes and Cedric, by the way. Or sorry, Cedric and Morrison. They are side by side. Cedric just ahead now of Morrison up into P4, but a little bit behind Brian Holmes. Still side by side potentially between these two, and Cedric just about pulling ahead and could lose more position. McNally, I think, has got a slowdown or something.
Yeah, I see some damage also on the front left of his car. The bonnet is all up on that side, so I maybe hit the wall or hit a competitor very, very hard on his left side. That being said, top 3, 1 second between them, Arrod, Rose and Holmes, but basically you could put a blanket all over the entire field from 4th position and backwards. It's an amazing race, this one, and sadly we only have 3 more laps of this amazing event today, or tonight I should say, here at Silverstone.
Yeah, we could happily do a couple more races of this. Josh Thompson trying to make his way up the field. He started pretty much dead last, started in 47th position. He's up into 27th, just trying to recover some points, I think, in this one. Potentially a move just behind as well, and that is a move. That was for Cunniff, who we saw off the circuit earlier on, and just making the move on Kiba.
Yeah, these drivers are not holding back in this 3rd race. They've been aggressive, but within the norm in race 1 and 2. But here in race 3, everybody's, it's the last race of the evening. So if you want to get a good result, this is the last chance you have, no? So they are trying everything. They are putting on an amazing show. Colin Cunniff here on camera is not. We are talking about the back of the field, but these guys don't care. They want to make as much positions as possible and get some valuable points, because they all count towards the end of the season and trying to get into the showdown.
Cunniff, I think, is going to make this move on Thompson. Thompson taking the shorter route though. Hasn't got nearly as much speed though as Cunniff, just behind. Cunniff, can he look to the inside? Not quite, and just behind as well, Baker and Kiba. Baker going past Kiba now, so Kiba falling down the field a little bit. Foggy, has he had an issue, or is that just my timing screen? He has not had an issue. I think he's still fine out there. He's having to hold off Holmes now, and they've lost touch with Harrod. That last lap, they lost 7/10 of a second, so something must have happened to these two, because they're right with the leaders. So with the leader, Cedric only just behind as well. He can sniff a podium from a very unlikely circumstance, but Harrod, after fighting off the rivals for so long, has now caught a break.
Yeah, Rose very aggressive there, cutting a lot of that corner. I don't think he will get a slowdown, but now he will have to defend. I think Holmes will be going for it, because there is not a lot of time left. And yeah, even though 1st position seems to be almost impossible, you want to get P2. Covering the inside is Rose. Holmes has to wait a bit, maybe get a better exit here, and we'll see if he will try a move. No. So opponent covering the inside, he goes from the outside. They will probably have some contact here. Nice move by Rose, nice defending there.
Yeah, Cedric is even close behind, and Foggy as well. Here they are. Having to go defensive here is Holmes. But has Cedric got the better line? And he does, and Holmes extremely early on the brakes, and Foggy's going to gain from this as well. Just following through Cedric through the field, and Cedric up into the top 3 now.
Great move. Too bad for Holmes, lost 2 positions. He was trying to gain 1 position and he lost 2. Basically, if we can sum up this race meeting with these words, with a moment, it's been this: you try to gain 1 position and you risk losing 2 or 3 or more.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct.
But at least it's not what happened to me last night or 2 nights ago in the MX5 Cup. Trying to gain 1 position, I lost 10. So don't do that, guys.
I think I remember that. Well, didn't you get a slowdown down the hang straight or something?
No, I just went wide for a little bit of a high five with the fans. Jack McIntyre trying to get some positions back. Of course, he was one of the protagonists today. Not very lucky with crashes and other sorts of problems. He's sitting in position 22 right now. As Sedgwick is very, very close on Rose as we enter. Of course, this is the final lap of the race. Sedgwick trying to get that second position on the outside on Rose. Leaders looking good for the victory. All to play for the final podium spots.
Cedric, can he force his nose in there? No, he can't. Although still giving him a little bit of room and just giving him a chance as Christian Race. They caught up to Pete Howard a little bit by about 0.4 of a second, but they forget about that now. Foggy just behind Rose versus Cedric into Abbey, and Cedric awesome on the brakes again. Foggy, guess what? He's going to possibly follow him through. Maybe a little bit of contact between the two of them there. Foggy is through though, up into P3. The two drivers who started in 18th and 19th position onto the podium now. But Pete Howard is still ahead of these drivers. He's racing away. And he's just going to have to exit Woodcote now. For the last time, Pete Howard is going to take race 3 of the BSRTC at Silverstone. Awesome drive from Howard once again. Almost pole to flag. Second place to the checkered flag. Got the moves done early on. And from there, he was very, very solid in defense.
Great racing once again. Great victory by Harrod. Sedgwick and Foggy, I like the fact that they were basically passing guys together towards the end of the race. A couple of very, very good moves on the chicane by both of them. Good race also by Rose, Holmes. Too bad for Sakovic, of course, we talk about him. And Martin Frank finishes the race in P9. And he was starting on pole position, of course. He had that contact that sent him back from first position onto 5th, and then it was all downhill from there, basically. But like we always say at the end of the third race here on Thursday evenings, what a great meeting! What a lot of fun we had.
Yes, absolutely terrific. Brilliant to jump in for races 2 and 3. But yeah, once again, an awesome evening of racing here in the BSRTC. Pete Howard taking away race 3 in the end ahead of Jack Sedgwick in second, starting 18th. Nicole Foggy starting 19th. He finishes in third, and then it's Christian Rose 4th, Brian Holmes 5th, and it's Barry Morrison, Mark Woodhouse, Wojciech Suridovich. Didn't really see too much of his drive. 37th to 8th. I think he was the biggest gainer out there. Awesome drive. Martin in front, he could have maybe won it. He was leading early on. He ends up in 9th with Ross McFarlane from 26th to 10th. There's Adam McNally, Chris Wood, Carl Janssen. He had a good drive, 44th to 13th. Jake Blackhall, Ashley Sutton, Sven Glatzel, Nathan Davies, Stephen Baxter, Alex Everett, and Jack McIntyre finishes in 20th position. Adam Hadfield, Jamie Rushworth, Michael Blake, Paul Smith, Tristan Bollis, Colin Cunniff, David Baker, Rusty Laidler, Pete Newman, Jesper Delica in 30th, and Scott Malcolm, Max Wright, Laura Bond, Tyler Lugo Vickery, Josh Thompson, he must have had an issue a little bit late on, David Crozier, Kip Stevens in 37th, Craig Williams, Matthew Keeber, Alex Simpson had an incident, he ends up in 40th with Mark Woodhouse, 41st, Maciej Sakovic, he was running with the leaders initially, Michael Davies as well, William Daniels, Stephen Burke finishes in 45th, Robert Graham in 46th, and Lee Deemer rounds out the field in 47th position. Should get an interview now with Scott Malcolm, and Scott, that was a I didn't see too much of you out there, I think, but yeah, awesome race too, and just take us through your feelings of today.
Over the moon is all I can say.
Yeah, that was incredible. That race too, you know, defending for so long. Did you think you had it in you? You know, it was quite a tall order.
If you want to be honest, God knows how many races I've done in these series. I think it must be well over 600 the amount of races that they do each season. And to just, I still can't believe I've actually managed to do it. I'm actually glad you never pulled me in for an interview after race 2 because I was just a complete and utter wreck.
Well, it was such a good effort, and your race out there, it was, you know, as if you'd won 1,000 races. You know, it was absolutely perfectly driven. You know, from the very start, you kind of had the drivers behind really under control. Tristan, you know, challenged you, but never really came close to properly making the overtake.
I was kind of a wee bit surprised at that. I thought, we will lead a few laps, and then I'll get swamped on lap 4. But it was just, I don't know. It was like they were holding back a bit, but I don't know. I just drive my own race, drive the lines, and just let the rest take care of itself.
Yeah, definitely. I think it may have helped that, you know, the fast drivers, we had that large reverse grid, and then they kind of struggled to make their way through the field. Did you find overtaking particularly difficult out there? Because we saw, you know, not too many overtakes, particularly near the front of the field.
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy about overtaking. I can't. No, I did think it was I think it is a bit hard to overtake here. I'm sure somebody else will correct me on that if it's not, but I found it a wee bit hard to overtake, so, or even attempt it.
But yeah, of course, race 2 was awesome. Race 1 and 3, I didn't really see too much of you in those 2 races, but I guess you don't really care. You got the race victory, and yeah, it's an incredible achievement.
Yeah, I forget about race 1 and 3. I got the Holy Grail in race 2 eventually.
And yeah, before we let you go, any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Well, obviously you guys for putting on such good broadcasts. Race 2 will be getting saved on the hard drive.
Put it up in your living room or something. You know?
Oh god, I'll be getting framed. Who else? Team Automatic for the help and sponsorship money and everything like that. And just to everybody else out there that's helped me over the years, too many names to mention, but yeah guys, I done it. I've actually done it.
Well done, mate. Yeah, really well done out there. You must be over the moon, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Maybe you can back it up. Maybe all 3 next week, yeah?
What was that? I'm away for a drink now.
See you later, mate.
Cheers, Sam.
Well, yeah, that was really was an awesome achievement there from Scott. I can't believe we don't have any more drives in the waiting area. But Mark, I think you know what the circuit is. It's next week. I think it's popped out of my mind. But yeah, where is it again?
Sebring.
Sebring, yeah. So that's the full layout, isn't it? It's not like
Yeah.
Yeah. So that will be a good one. That's should be a good one in these cars, I imagine. The bumps aren't really going to affect these sturdy gears too much, but yeah, it's a bit of a unique circuit, isn't it? And it's gonna maybe mix up the field a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to have, like I said, there are 2 very long straights, of course, the front stretch and the back stretch, which are connected together by the beautiful sunset band, but also a very technical track with a lot of bumps. Every corner has a little bit of banking, a little bit of irregularity, so it's not only going to be a draft fest, but also the drivers will stand out because you need to be a very, very good driver, and also a very long track, so it's not easy to get all the corners right. It's going to be a very, very interesting meeting. Can't wait for next week.
Yeah, should be absolutely fantastic. Of course, for the rest of the week on Apex Racing TV, we don't have anything tomorrow, unfortunately, but we have got the sim races for Asia Championship Round 2 on Saturday midday, and then after that we've got the team broadcast for the iRacing Grand Prix World Championship. Then we've got Round 1 of the Euro V8s also on Saturday, and then on Sunday we have the iRacing Grand Prix Series, and we've got the BSR Grand Tour, and then on Monday will be the return of the World GT after missing a race this week. But yeah, for now, from me, from Sam, and from Marco, we bid you goodbye, and we will see you next time.